okay? For the vast majority of my career, I would try something new and come back to this. I would experiment with something new and come back to this. And this is the one that was tested and tried and true from my own personal experience. And I want you to understand this right now. For the most part, there is no postcard. There is no flyer. Don't wait for the handout. Okay? Do you know how many people just wait for the flyer to come across so that they can actually use the hostess plan? Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. Okay? I actually preferred not to have a flyer or not to have a postcard that I was attached to in giving it out to the next person, because what if I changed my mind tomorrow? Okay, or what if I wanted to tweak it and customize it for this next person? Then I was stuck in the flyer. And I was stuck in, it really confined me too much. And really the thing that always worked for me is what's in it for them. What's in it for them? What's in it for them? What is it going to take to get them excited to play ball with me? And my own experience showed that what's in it for them changed with all the different thems, right? So I wanted to have some flexibility in there so that I could fine-tune it for them so that they felt valued, that they felt like this was a partnership, and that they felt really customized in my treatment and my service to them. Now, here's the deal. Okay, this is what a system is. A system means it's something that works without you having to work it. Okay, it's an automatic process. My hostess plan, believe it or not, became a system for me because I had the parameters, then they could pick and choose what they wanted. See, people support that which they help to create. And so my hostesses, they felt like they were part of the process. They felt like they were creating it and customizing it just for them. So then they delivered a lot more. They really held up their end of the agreement a lot more because they were part of the process, and they felt like they were picking it and designing it every step of the way. Now, the reality is on the back end, there were definite parameters. There was structure behind what I was giving them, but I did the numbers in my end and then let them have the freedom to play and make it feel fun on theirs. Are y'all following me on this? So let me tell you what the parameters were. My hostess plan, without fail, for those 3 years was 100 free. 100 free, 100 free, 100 free. Now, at the end, I started getting more spoiled customers. Let me tell you what I mean by that. The women that I really wanted, the women that I really wanted to work with, the women that I could see them as amazing future leaders. I could see the qualities and the characteristics in them, and I thought, oh my gosh, if she would ever give this business a try, she would run circles around all of us. She would be an amazing leader if I could help her develop those skills. Those women are picky. Those women are spoiled. Okay? And what I mean by that is those kind of women, they've got options. They've got choices. And a lot of those women would just as soon pay the $100 and not have to do anything. They'd rather pay full price and not have to work for it. Are y'all with me on that? How many of you have customers like that? Like, I'd just rather pay for it. But for whatever reason, I found that if I double it to 200 free, they're going to think a little bit more about writing a check for 200 or knowing that they were getting 200 free, even if they weren't ever going to write a check for 200. When they understood the value of getting 200 free, that got them to play ball with me. So what I want you to understand is that my hostess plan was always either 100 or 200 free. But stick with me on this. I didn't let them pick 100 or 200. Okay? I picked based on what I thought would motivate them. And let me keep going. Let me explain how this works, okay? It was 100 or 200 free if they weren't familiar with the Mary Kay product line. If they are already familiar with the Mary Kay product line, I could say a free filled travel roll-up bag. Now, if you're sitting here as a seasoned consultant and this is something new to you, I want to encourage you to not have a heart attack right now, okay? Because you're not going to lose your business or your shirt over this concept if you'll stick with me, okay? I have never lost money, never. I can say that with total 100% confidence. I have never lost money on this plan. In fact, I don't think I've ever even just broken even. I think 100% of the time, I have made money on this. Let me tell you. Here's how it works. Whenever I say free-filled bag, What do you think? Okay, some of you think everything. Some of you think $100, some of you think $200, some of you think $400, because your definition of a filled bag is different. And so that's the cool thing, is when you say a free filled bag, they're just imagining their experience and their impression with a filled travel roll-up bag. That's why this only works if they're already familiar with the Mary Kay product line. Because if you say a free filled bag to somebody who's never had a Mary Kay facial, that's speaking a foreign language to them. They don't get it, right? But the free filled bag would be, for you, $100 or $200 retail in the bag, okay, that you customize it for them. And remember, you're going to pick 100 or 200 based on what you've learned about them in your time getting to know them at the facial, or even just in meeting them very new. I only had 2 requirements on this hostess plan. I'm going to tell you my 2, but then I'm also going to encourage you to implement a 3rd until your skill is where it needs to be, okay, to make sure that you don't lose your shirt or lose your money on this. Okay, my 2 requirements on the hostess plan were, number 1, attach it to a head count. Whatever, you can set the minimum head count, whatever you want your class to be. Mine was always 6. You can make it whatever you want it to be. And then the second one for me was that it held on the originally scheduled date. So attach it to the head count, originally scheduled date. Here's what I will share with you. I cared enough to prepare. We're going to talk about this in a little while, but I made a commitment to invest a season in mastering the technical skills of this business. Because I knew I was a master of this business. In other words, when they walked through that door, girls, I was going to book them, I was going to sell them, or I was going to recruit them. And then it was a game to me to see which one they fit into. It was fun. But that was because I had mastered the technical skills of this business. Understand, a skill means it can be learned. It can be developed. It doesn't mean it was a God-given gift that you either got or missed, okay? But because I invested that season in mastering the skills, I knew all I needed the hostess for was to help me get the guests there. After that, I'm done, okay? I could rely on my skill from there on out. Here's where I want you to add the third hostess, the third criteria, until your skill is strong enough that you feel confident in it. Set an outside order minimum equal to what you give away. Set an outside order minimum equal to what you give away. But again, you don't word it like that to them. Okay, don't tell them that. Here's the way that it works. If I'm going to give away 100 to her for free, then she's going to take $100 in outside orders. If I'm going to give away 200, she's going to take how many? $200 in outside orders. Okay? Because how much does it cost us to give away 100? $50. How much do we make when she brings us $100 in outside orders? $50. So immediately, just by showing up, you break even. Then everything on top of that is gravy. It's money in your pocket. Now, the brilliance of this, do not set it on the sales minimum of the class. She has no control and no power on the sales minimum of the class. That means nothing to her. And she's probably going to assume her people aren't going to buy anything. So it's setting yourself up for total sabotage if that's where you put a requirement for the class. But think about this. How many of your friends, family, and prospects think of your business like a fundraiser? They think it's always that cute little thing you're doing. Every time they see you, oh, you still doing that little Mary Kay thing? Okay, but this is where it's coming in handy to you, because that's the way they think. They think in fundraiser mentality. So you're going to use this to your advantage right here. And you are going to let them go out and treat it like a fundraiser.